Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Englo Talks. We're so happy you're here with us today. If you're learning English and want to speak more naturally and confidently, you're in exactly the right place.
Hey everyone, it's great to have you with us again. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're listening from. Today we've got a topic that many English learners find confusing at first. But don't worry, we're going to make it simple and easy.
That's right. I remember when I first started helping English learners, many students told me that conditionals looked scary. They saw names like Zero Conditional, First Conditional, Second Conditional, and Third Conditional, and immediately felt nervous.
I know exactly what you mean. The names sound complicated, but the good news is that the idea behind conditionals is actually very simple. We use conditionals to talk about situations and results.
Exactly. We use them every day in real conversations. For example, if it rains, I'll stay home. That's a conditional sentence. Native speakers use conditionals all the time without even thinking about them.
And today, we're going to explain all four main conditionals step by step. We'll look at the zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to understand when to use each conditional, create your own sentences, avoid common mistakes, and sound much more natural in conversations.
Here's a question for our listeners. Which conditional do you find the most difficult? Zero, first, second, or third? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
And before we begin, don't forget to like this episode, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Englo Talks so you never miss a new English lesson.
All right, everyone. Grab a notebook if you'd like, and let's start learning conditionals together.
Let's begin with the zero conditional. This is the easiest conditional because it talks about facts, truths, habits, and things that are always true.
The basic structure is very simple. If plus present simple, present simple.
That's right. Both parts of the sentence use the present simple.
Here are some examples. If you heat water, it boils. If it rains, the ground gets wet. If people don't eat, they get hungry. If I drink coffee at night, I can't sleep. If you study regularly, you learn faster.
Notice that these aren't future possibilities, they're facts or general truths. We're talking about things that usually or always happen.
Exactly. Let me ask you a question. If you don't charge your phone, what happens?
If I don't charge my phone, it dies.
Perfect. That's a zero conditional sentence.
Here's another everyday example from my life. If I wake up early, I feel more energetic. That's something that generally happens to me.
And if I skip breakfast, I get hungry before lunch. That's another habit or general result.
Now, let's talk about negative forms. We simply add don't, doesn't, or other negative forms where needed.
For example, if you don't water plants, they die. If people don't exercise, they don't stay healthy. If I don't set an alarm, I don't wake up on time.
Very easy, right?
Now let's move to the first conditional.
The first conditional talks about real future possibilities. Something may happen in the future, and we're talking about the possible result.
The structure is if plus present simple, will plus base verb.
This is extremely common in everyday English.
Let's see some examples. If it rains tomorrow, I'll stay home. If you study hard, you'll pass the exam. If she calls me, I'll answer. If we leave now, we'll arrive on time. If they win the match, they'll celebrate.
Notice something important. After if, we use the present simple, not will.
Great point. Many learners say, if it will rain tomorrow, I'll stay home. That's incorrect.
The correct sentence is, if it rains tomorrow, I'll stay home.
Now let's compare them. Zero conditional, if I drink coffee, I can't sleep. First conditional, if I drink coffee tonight, I won't sleep well.
The first one is a general truth. The second one is about a future possibility.
Listeners, can you make a sentence with, if I have time tomorrow? Pause for a moment and say your sentence out loud.
Great practice. Speaking out loud helps your brain remember grammar patterns.
Here's another challenge. Can you complete these? If I finish work early, if I save enough money, if my friend visits me. Try saying your answers out loud.
Remember, zero conditional equals facts and habits. First conditional equals real future possibilities.
That's the key idea. If you remember that difference, you're already making great progress.
Now, let's move to the second conditional. This is where many learners start feeling nervous, but don't worry.
The second conditional talks about imaginary, unlikely, or unreal situations in the present or future.
The structure is if plus past simple plus would plus base verb.
Notice something interesting. We use the past simple, but we're not talking about the past.
Exactly. We're imagining a different reality.
Here are some examples. If I were rich, I would travel the world. If I had $1,000,000, I would buy a beach house. If she lived closer, we would meet more often. If I knew the answer, I would tell you.
Let's create a real-life conversation. If you won the lottery, what would you do?
I would probably travel to many countries and learn about different cultures.
Nice answer. I think I would help my family first.
That's a great example of how people naturally use the second conditional.
Here's an important tip. With the verb to be, many native speakers use were for all subjects.
Right, we often hear, if I were you, if he were here, if she were taller.
Let's compare formal and informal usage. Formal, if I were you, I would apologize. Informal, if I was you, I would apologize.
Both can be heard in conversation, but if I were you is generally considered more correct.
Let's do a quick practice activity. Imagine you could have any superpower. What would it be?
I would choose the ability to speak every language perfectly.
That's perfect for an English podcast host.
What about our listeners? Tell us in the comments. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Here are 3 tips. First, remember that the situation is imaginary. Second, use the past simple after if. Third, use would in the result clause.
Let's look at more examples. If I lived near the beach, I would swim every day. If I had more free time, I would read more books. If we owned a restaurant, we would serve international food.
Now, compare the first and second conditional. First conditional, if I save enough money, I'll buy a car. Second conditional, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a sports car.
The first one is realistic. The second one is more imaginary.
That's the main difference.
Before we continue, write one second conditional sentence in the comments. We'd love to read your creative ideas.
The more you practice, the more natural these structures will become.
Great job so far. We've covered facts, real future possibilities, and imaginary situations.
Now, let's explore the third conditional. This conditional talks about unreal situations in the past.
In simple words, we're imagining a different past and a different result.
The structure is if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle.
Let's see some examples. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. If she had left earlier, she would have caught the train. If we had known about the event, we would have attended. If they had practiced more, they would have won.
Notice that these situations cannot be changed. The past is finished.
Exactly. We're imagining what could have happened differently.
Here's a real-life example. Last year, I missed a flight because I arrived late. I can say, if I had arrived earlier, I would have caught the flight.
That's perfect. I once forgot an important meeting, so I can say, if I had checked my calendar, I would have remembered the meeting.
Third conditional sentences often express regret, reflection, or lessons learned.
But they don't always need to sound negative. For example, if we had gone to that restaurant, we would have discovered amazing food.
Great point.
Let's talk about natural delivery. When speaking, native speakers often contract the forms. I would have gone, she would have called, we'd have arrived earlier.
Those contractions make conversation sound more natural.
Let's do some practice. Imagine you overslept and missed an interview. What could you say?
I could say, if I had set 2 alarms, I would have arrived on time.
Excellent. Now imagine you forgot your umbrella and got wet.
If I had brought my umbrella, I wouldn't have gotten wet.
Perfect. Listeners, try creating your own third conditional sentence right now.
Here's another useful tip. When you're telling stories about mistakes, lessons, or missed opportunities, the third conditional is often the best choice.
Let's review all 4 structures. 0, if plus present, present. First, if plus present, will plus verb. Second, if plus past, would plus verb. Third, if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle.
Repetition helps memory, so keep practicing these patterns.
And don't just memorize them. Use them in real conversations whenever possible.
Let's talk about mistakes. And honestly, we've all made these mistakes before.
Absolutely. Making mistakes is part of learning.
Common mistake number 1. Using will after if in the first conditional. Incorrect, if it will rain, I'll stay home. Correct, if it rains, I'll stay home.
Why is the first sentence wrong? Because after if, we normally use the present simple, not will.
Common mistake number 2. Mixing the first and second conditional. Incorrect, if I had money, I'll buy a car. Correct, if I had money, I would buy a car.
If you're using the second conditional, remember the pair, past simple plus would.
Common mistake number 3. Confusing second and third conditional forms. Incorrect, if I studied harder, I would have passed. Correct, if I had studied harder, I would have passed.
The correct version talks about a past unreal situation, so we need the third conditional structure.
Common mistake number 4. Using the wrong verb form after would have. Incorrect, I would have go. Correct, I would have gone.
Always use the past participle after would have.
Here's a funny example. Imagine someone says, if I had wings, I would have flew to work. That sounds funny because the correct past participle is flown.
So the correct sentence is, if I had wings, I would have flown to work.
Let's practice. Which is correct? If I were rich, I would travel. Or, if I were rich, I will travel.
The first one is correct because it's a second conditional sentence.
Another one. If I left earlier, I would have arrived on time. Or, if I left earlier, I would have arrived on time.
The first one is correct because it's talking about an unreal past situation.
Remember, mistakes are normal. Every fluent speaker once made grammar mistakes too.
Exactly. Focus on progress, not perfection. The more you practice, the more natural conditionals will feel.
Now it's time for a fun activity called Choose the Correct Sentence. Situation 1. Tomorrow might be rainy. A. If it rains, I'll stay home. B. If it rain, I'll stay home.
The correct answer is A, because we need rains in the present simple.
Situation 2. You imagine having a private jet. A. If I have a private jet, I would travel everywhere. B. If I had a private jet, I would travel everywhere.
The correct answer is B, because it's an imaginary situation.
Situation 3. You missed the bus yesterday. A. If I had left earlier, I would have caught the bus. B. If I leave earlier, I would have caught the bus.
A is correct because we're talking about the past.
Situation 4. A general truth. A. If you heat ice, it melts. B. If you heat ice, it will melt.
The better answer is A because it's a scientific fact.
Situation 5. A real future possibility. A. If I finish work early, I'll call you. B. If I finished work early, I'll call you.
A is correct because we're discussing a realistic future situation.
Say the correct sentences out loud. Speaking helps build confidence and fluency.
You can also change the sentences to sound more formal or informal depending on the situation.
Here's your challenge. Create one zero conditional, one first conditional, one second conditional, and one third conditional sentence. Then share them in the comments.
Remember, communication is more important than perfection. Keep speaking and keep practicing.
Wow, we covered a lot today. You learned all 4 major English conditionals and how to use them in real conversations.
Let's quickly review. Zero conditional for facts and general truths. First conditional for real future possibilities. Second conditional for imaginary present or future situations. Third conditional for unreal situations in the past.
If these structures seemed confusing before, we hope they feel much clearer now. Remember, learning grammar doesn't happen overnight. Every sentence you practice helps you improve.
Here's a final question for you. Which conditional do you think you'll use the most this week? Let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to like this episode, share it with fellow English learners, comment with your own conditional sentences, and subscribe to Englo Talks for more easy and practical English lessons.
We're proud of the effort you're making. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep enjoying the learning process.
Thanks so much for spending your time with us today. We truly appreciate every listener around the world.
Take care, keep learning, keep confident, and as always, see you next time.